Hello everyone, this is Shosai. Welcome to the lecture on approaching UPSC IEDS AD-1, AD-2 exam 2025. I will be making a series of lectures in which this is the first lecture. So, starting with the lecture, let me introduce about myself. My name is Shosai and I have qualified for the UPSC Indian Enterprise Development Service Assistant Director 1 in the chemical section for the exam which was conducted in the year 2024. So, coming about my background, I have done my BTech in chemical engineering. So, going ahead with the lecture. So, this lecture will basically have two parts. In the first part of the lecture, I will try to introduce you regarding the service and some details of the exam pertaining to the syllabus, the cutoffs, the number of applicants, etc. And coming to the part two of this lecture, I will be telling you about how to approach the material science part of the syllabus. So, this will be the first lecture in the series. In the coming few lectures, I will try to discuss each subject in a lecture. So, going ahead, the first part. So let me give you a brief overview about the service. The IEDS, or the Indian Enterprise Development Service, comes under the Office of Development Commissioner under the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. So basically it's a technical service. It is a general central service Group A in case of Assistant Director Grade 1, and it is Group B in case of Assistant Director Grade 2. It is a gazetted service and non-ministerial service. Regarding the role, regarding the services and duties of the service, even I'm not really sure because I did not join the service yet. So basically, whatever the information is there on the advertisement, the same information I know. So basically, it comprises of the officers from these branches, mechanical, electrical, chemical, metallurgy, etc. So basically, the officers for this services enter in two ways. One is the Indian Engineering Service Examination or the ESE examination, or the recruitment test held by UPSC. So currently, we are confining ourselves to the recruitment test held by UPSC. So yeah, in this case, you can see that for mechanical, electrical, and electronics engineering, these officers were selected via the engineering service examination, which was mentioned in the service rules also. So yeah, so for these branches, it is recruited via engineering service examination. And coming to all the other branches, the chemical, metallurgy, leather, hosiery or textile engineering, food technology, glass and ceramics, and metal finishing, they are recruited as per a recruitment test. So basically, we will be having a common recruitment test where the question paper is same for all the branches altogether. So based on the recent notification given by the UPSC, these are the details about the exam. So exam is on 5th of October, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And coming to the basic details, so the exam is 2 hours duration, and basically during our year, that is in 2024, there were total 120 questions. So each question query equal marks, and the paper was for 300 marks. So basically 2.5 marks for every correct answer, and 1/3 of it, that is approximately 0.834 marks, is deducted for every wrong answer. So we had 120 questions for which 2 hours is given. And yeah, the paper is given only in English medium. Since it's a technical paper, the language will be English. And yeah, this is regarding the penalty. For each wrong answer, 1/3 marks will be deducted. And coming to the syllabus, total 8 topics were given. And approximately 15 questions will be coming from each section, So 15 into 8, 120 questions. In our case, approximately for each subject, out of 15 questions, I think the situation, mostly it will be the same for this year paper also. So yeah, here I'm comparing the syllabus of the IEDS exam from the ESC prelims exam. So even ESC has a prelims exam in which there are two papers basically. One is a GS paper and one is engineering services paper. So this is a paper pertaining to the GS paper. So here, if you can see, most of the topics given here are same here also. So you can see the current issues, and then we have aptitude here. Here we have aptitude, mathematics, and numerical ability. We don't have these chapters compared to ESC. We don't have these chapters. Let's say general principles of design, safety, standards. These are not there. And apart from that, I think the syllabus is same. Why I am comparing the syllabus is because since UPSC has conducted this IEDS exam only twice till now. One was for AD-1, which was conducted in August 2024, and one is for AD-2, which was conducted in October, if I'm correct. So we only have 2 question papers of RT till now. So if we add the ESC previous year questions, it will lead to a very big question bank, which will help us to analyze the topics much better. So yeah, coming to the next aspect. the cutoff marks. So in our case, the cutoff marks are not officially out yet. So there is no official cutoff released by UPSC till now. But what all information that I can say is that, number one, since it is a combined examination, the exam will be same for all the branches and even for both AD-1 and AD-2, but the cutoffs will be different for each branch. In each branch for AD-1, there will be a different cutoff. For AD-2, there will be a different cutoff. Also, the cutoff varies from categories as any government exam. So let's say that, for example, if you are a BTech in chemical engineering graduate, so basically you'll be eligible for AD-1 chemical, AD-1 metal finishing, AD-2 chemical, and AD-2 metal finishing. So how cutoffs will be decided is that, let's say that there is only you belong to a UR category. There is one post for AD-1 chemical, and there are let's say there are 3 posts available for AD-2 chemical. Let's say that you are a candidate belonging to UR category and you have applied for both the positions. So what usually UPSC does is that they will call candidates to the interview in a ratio of 1:5 or 1:6 usually. So let's say that so here UPSC will be calling top 15 candidates in UR for the interview, and here top 5 candidates. Let's say that in chemical branch, if you are in top 5 and you have applied for both, then you'll be eligible for AD-1 interview and AD-2 interview. And let's say that you got some 12th position in merit, then you'll be only called for AD-2 chemical. So likewise, in this way, if you have applied for multiple positions and if you are scoring pretty decent enough, there is a decent chance that you will be called for interview for different branches. In my case, I was qualified for both AD-1 chemical interview and AD-1 metal finishing interview. And so coming to the cutoffs and all, in our year, especially in chemical, 45% was a very good score to get an interview call and for final selection. And so yeah, likewise, this may not be the same for this year also. Obviously, the cutoff marks will depend on the number of applicants and the difficulty of the paper. So coming to the number of applicants, when I appeared for the chemical AD-1, there were 4 posts in total, and as per an RTI reply, there were approximately 1,800 applicants. So roughly you can say that the competition was 1:420 was the ratio. But the same ratio is not same for all the branches. You can say that it will vary from 1:100 and it may go to 1:400. It all depends on the branch and all. So likewise, the difficulty of the paper also decides the cutoff. And what all I can say is that during our times, the awareness of the service was comparatively on the lower side. So the cutoff was a bit on the lower side. This year, if you consider the difficulty of the paper as same as the previous year, you can expect the cutoff marks to go a bit higher, by let's say 4% or 5%. So anyways, I can say that 50%, irrespective of your branch, irrespective of the position that you applied, getting 50% would be a very good score, to be a safer side. And you all know that after the recruitment test, you'll be shortlisted for the interview, for which it is conducted for 100 marks, and your final merit list will be prepared based on the combined scores of your recruitment test and the interview. So we will talk about the interview in the later part, after this exam gets over. Let us now restrict ourselves to the exam part, okay? So coming to the general strategy for this exam. So this strategy is something that I have learned from appearing several UPSC examinations. So basically, I had a decent enough of experience in appearing various UPSC exams, be it the civil services, be it the forest services, and other such examinations. So I'm proud to say that I have cleared most of those examinations, especially the objective part of the exam. So these are the principles that I have learned from all those exams, especially the UPSC exams. So the first and very important aspect of clearing any exam is that you have to be very thorough with the syllabus and the previous year questions. By using the previous year questions, you must be able to analyze which topic is important and till which depth you have to read a particular topic. This is very important because I guess most of you are engineers, so you must know about the GATE examination. So if you see the GATE examination, for each chapter there will be a detailed syllabus analysis. Let's say that there is this chapter called fluid mechanics, and in that the GATE syllabus will be a very detailed syllabus. So they will give you all the subtopics also. Whereas in UPSC exams, usually especially for the objective exams, mostly the syllabus will be just the name of the broader topic. They will not give us what are the subtopics that we need to study. So this is where the PYQs are very important. So if you see the PYQs, if you see the trends, then you will get to know which topic is being asked in so and so chapters. So yeah, this is the first and foremost important one. And in order to understand these PYQs, I have compiled both the ESE question papers and IEDS question papers. So ESE I have compiled from 2017 to 2025, whereas IEDS I have compiled AD-1 and AD-2 of 2024. All these things can be accessed in the website, whose link will be provided in the description. Please go through it. And coming to the next aspect, keep your study material as minimal as possible and try to do multiple revisions on the same material instead of referring multiple books. Don't go for many other books, because today is August 1st. You'll be having your exam roughly 65 days. In 65 days, if you start studying multiple sources, I don't think you will not be able to complete the syllabus on time. See, this exam is not just about completing the syllabus. You have to complete the syllabus, you have to revise them multiple times, you have to attempt several practice tests so that you'll be able to ready for the exam. So given the time constraints, keep any one standard material for each subject and revise it multiple times. Okay, so that is the second aspect. And third one, no matter how much we study, we will not be able to perform well in the examination unless until we practice some test series, unless and until we simulate some exams. We have to experience that exam environment before going to the actual exam. I guess most of the people who might be appearing for different competitive exams must be aware of this. So the same principle applies for this exam also. Try to practice as many questions as possible for all the chapters. As I said previously, I am planning to come up with a test series, and the details of the test series will be uploaded in the website soon. Please keep checking the website. And yeah, regarding the topics that you have to study, your priority has to be in this order. So the first priority has to be the topics on which the PYQs are being asked. This has to be your first priority. And the second priority has to be the peripheral topics. Let's say that they have given an objective question which has 4 options. So your first priority has to be to learn about the correct answer, the concepts behind it, whatever the theory, applications, etc. Here, the peripheral topics is nothing but the other options. Let's say that they have explained different types of polymers in each and every option. After studying the correct option, it is very well advised for you to go to other options and learn more about them, because UPSC has this trend of focusing on giving the same repeating themes of PYQs. If a topic comes under a different option in this year, there is a decent possibility that it comes as a main question in the next year. So the PYQ topics and the corresponding peripheral topics has to be your first priority. This is followed by all other topics pertaining to a topic. So this has to be your strategy. Don't start from first to last. Don't try to focus on each part equally, and that usually does not work given the time constraints. First, try to cover the topics which are very important, then a bit less important, then very less important topics. This has to be your priority order. And yeah, in order to analyze the priority topics, I have come up with some analysis which we'll be talking in the later part of this lecture. So coming to the sources, first of all, I just wanted to say that I'm not publicizing these institutions and not they are patronizing. I'm patronizing them. Basically, since this IEDS exam is comparatively a newer exam, I don't think there are decent materials that are just tailor-made for this exam. So here we need to use the ESC material in order to prepare for the examination. So in my case, I have referred to the first source called the Mailzy Publications. You can go to their website. They have books for every topic, so you can purchase them. I had referred to 2023 edition. So one of my friends was preparing for the ESC examination, so I borrowed it from him, and I have prepared for the subject. Also, one of my other friends who have cleared the ESC examinations, they have suggested me that this is a very good source. The notes is much better in this book, this also. So I have personally never seen this material, but based on the advice of my friends, I'm telling on this. So you can go through their website and you can see all these are available in those website. And basically, both of them are paid material. You can go to their websites and all. And if you want free PDFs pertaining to all the subjects, there is a website called Gate Hunt. You can download free PDFs, handwritten PDFs from that website. Yeah, so these are the sources that I can say which you can use for the examination. Which source you wanted to use, it all depends on you. I can't say which one is better or which one is not. For me, for my examination, I have referred for this first source. Yeah. So coming to the second part of the lecture, approaching basics of material science and engineering. So this is a topic under the syllabus. So as I said earlier, we will be getting, around 15 questions from this topic, and it is a technical subject. Mostly it will be based on a bit of theory and numericals. In the IDS papers, as per the best of my knowledge, there were no numericals, but numericals were being asked in ESC exam. So you can expect numericals. There is a decent possibility. And the type of questions, basically, there are both concepts-oriented and application-based. So this is the basic overview. And coming to the PYQ analysis, so basically, I have gone through all the PYQs of both ESC and IEDS questions of pertaining to this material science and engineering, and I have came to a conclusion that this is the frequency based on which the questions were being asked from each topic. So based on my analysis, the most important chapters would be polymers, crystal structures, and crystal defects. Basically, it is a chapter called solid state, and then followed by the chemical bonding, and then semiconductors, thermodynamics, and Rest of the topics pertains to the core material science aspects, where we'll be discussing about various metals, their alloys, their mechanical properties, how to test the mechanical properties, various heat treatments, various alloys, etc. So yeah, coming to the topic-wise analysis. So all this information is based on PYQs. So if you are starting with your preparation, especially in material science, my suggestion will be first to cover those topics where PYQs are being asked, then go for other topics. In this way, you'll be able to save time and you'll be able to stress more on important topics. So coming to the first important chapter, polymers. So in my analysis, I came to a conclusion that around 14 questions, if I'm correct, were asked from polymers chapter. So here I have given the subtopic and the respective year where the question was asked. So here, if I further classify it, what are topics that you must focus on polymers chapter is that the first one, obviously, the properties and classification. The polymers are classified based on the process of their preparation, the structure, their applications, etc. So first, try to learn about their properties, their classification, and then the next important topic would be the types of polymerization. So we have this addition polymerization, and then we have this condensation polymerization. Try to find out the various processes and examples also. So for each polymer, try to remember its respective monomer. And I think this is very important, especially in case of the condensation polymers. And then you can study about the structures of polymers, the tacticity, what is its definition, what is tactic arrangement, and what is atactic arrangement. And then here they have discussed especially about a special polymer, and then about vulcanization process of rubber and how this process alters its structure. I think numerical was asked in case of this PYQ. And then here they have given about the thermoplastics and the thermosets. So since the question was asked twice based on this topic, it becomes very important topic, you know. And then they have given us specific polymers. So try to remember the technical names of each polymer, their chemical monomers, their applications, etc. So these three pertain to that same, Try to remember the common names. And then here we have the application part, where they have given us the applications of polymers, and also here they have given what are the applications of liquid crystalline polymers. And yeah, I think this pertains to structure only. So in this way, from polymers, these many questions were being asked. And the reason why I have kept the polymer as the first chapter is that it is a bit easier chapter, because I think most of us might have studied polymers in 12th class, as a part of our chemistry subject. I think mostly the concepts are not very in depth. Mostly they are factual, a bit conceptual. Try to revise them. Try to memorize them. Okay. And coming to the next most important chapter, that is solid state. I think even this we might have studied in 12th class. So the important topics would be the cells, basically. We used to study this simple cubic cell, and then body-centered cubic structure, face-centered cubic structure. So try to learn about the cells and the lattice points. And here calculations are important. They'll be asking us to calculate the density, and they'll be asking us to calculate the cell volume. I think most of us might have studied the formulas regarding how to calculate the density, and how to calculate density is a total number of cells in a unit cell into a mass of each divided by the volume of the cubic cell. And then we also have this Bragg's equation. If I'm correct, it's 2d sine theta equals to n lambda, where lambda is the wavelength, n is the order, d is the interatomic distance, theta is the angle of diffraction. And then packing efficiency is very important. Try to remember the packing efficiency of simple cubic, body-centered cubic, face-centered cubic, what are its values. Also the hexagonal closed packing, what is its packing efficiency. Also the coordination number. I think this question was asked recently in 82, and also I guess a question came in 81 also. So what is the coordination number of cations and anions in each? You can also study about the voids, the octahedral voids, the tetrahedral voids, etc. So these are the broad things which you can cover in crystal structure. Also the crystal defects, which are an extension to the same chapter. Here, the Scottier defect was asked thrice, as you can see. So this will become a very important topic. Try to learn more about the Scottier defect, the Frenkel defect, what happens in each case of defect, and examples in which kind of compounds the Scottier effect will take place, and in which the Frenkel effect will take place. So basically, these are stoichiometric defects. You can also learn about the non-stoichiometric effects also, defects also, like the metal excess effect, all those things. So yeah, these are the topics that you must focus on in case of solid state. Coming to the next chapter, chemical bonding. Even this chapter is familiar to most of us from the earlier learnings. So here, the most important thing is you must be able to differentiate each type of bonding. So we have metallic bonding, we have ionic bonding, we have covalent, van der Waals forces or van der Waals bonds, hydrogen bonding, etc. try to find out the characteristics of each bonds. What makes those bonds unique. What are the features of the compounds which have those kind of bondings, and yeah, and example for each also. So basically, these are the questions that were being asked. Metallic bonding came twice. Hydrogen bonding is important, and try to learn about the molecular orbital theory. I guess most of us might have, uh, basically atomic orbitals will combine to give molecular orbitals, and we have bonding molecular orbital, anti-bonding molecular orbital, all these things. We used to have this molecular orbital diagrams, if you can remember. In this way, we used to have this. So we'll learn about this, and then covalent bonding and its properties. You can also learn about hybridization. You may expect some questions on that also. So yeah, coming to next important topic. First, we'll discuss about semiconductors. So learn about the photoelectric effect, and then learn about the p-type semiconductors, the n-type semiconductors, and what are the transistors. So we used to be NPN transistor, PNP transistor. What are field effect transistors? What are its applications? What is Hall effect, and what are its associations with semiconductors? So try to learn more about this, because I'm guessing that you may expect 1 or 2 questions definitely this year in this topic. And yeah, likewise ceramics. Try to learn what are ceramics, what are the types of ceramics, what are the mostly used ceramics, what are its applications, and their crystal structure, and how are they made, how are they processed, and yeah. And then coming to the next chapter, thermodynamics. So as you can see, around 5 questions were asked from thermodynamics. I think 2 or 3 questions came from entropy, if I'm correct. So try to learn about the 3 laws of thermodynamics, especially the second law, where you need to learn more about the entropy. And you can learn some basic equations of entropy, the Gibbs energy, the Gibbs free energy, etc. Just go through, revise the basic thermodynamic concepts and the equations. Also the phase equilibria. We have this phase rule. The degree of freedom equals to the components minus the phases plus 2. And try to see the phase diagrams for water, carbon dioxide, etc. This will help you to cover the basic aspects. So till now, most of the topics that we have covered, I think you'll be able to access these topics in 12th class material. These are completely easier topics. Now I'm coming to the core material science, which is mostly mechanical engineering. I think mechanical engineers might have dealt it in a decent depth, but for us, we have to prepare for the exam, so we must learn about this. So coming to the first part, learn about the mechanical properties. What is hardness, what is toughness, what is resilience, what is elasticity, Young's modulus of elasticity, what is the diagram, the stress versus strain diagrams, what is critical shear stress, what is fatigue resistance, etc., elastic deformation, etc. So I think most of us have heard this in the physics of 12th class, but try to go a bit depth into this. And then coming to the testing of properties, how hardness is tested, what are its formulas, how the tensile strength is tested, all these things. And coming to the next subtopic, that is how we characterize the materials using techniques like the the X-ray diffraction. I think this topic you'll be covering in solid state also. And then learn about electron microscopy. What are its working principles? What are its applications? What are other such techniques apart from TEM? I think we also have scanning electron microscopy, if I'm correct. Try to learn about such parallel topics also. And then learn about the fraction mechanics, the equations, the formulas, etc. I'm going very quickly in this topic because even I'm not a technical expert in this aspect. All I have studied is just for the exam sake, and very minimum knowledge I had. And yeah, then coming to the heating treatments, various treatments like carburizing. Here you also have this cold work, and try to learn about the phase transformations. I think there is this iron phase diagram of iron alloy phase diagram. I'm not exactly sure of it. Try to learn about it. I think you'll be finding it in the materials. And then I think this is the most easier part for us, and it's most scoring. Try to learn what are diamagnetic materials, what are paramagnetic materials, and ferromagnetic, antiferromagnetic, what are soft magnetic materials, hard magnetic, what is Curie point, all these aspects. And then, in case of this topic, iron and steel, cast iron, question on cast iron was repeated several times. Here you can see it was asked in 2024, ESC and AD, and also in 2018. So try to learn more about this topic. I think cast iron is very important in this case. And then steel microstructures, etc. And then this is mostly factual learning. Try to learn about various alloys and their daily applications. Try to search internet, try to find the most commonly used alloys and what are its constituents. For example, there is brass. So which metals it is made up of, what are its applications, what are its properties, etc. And the final chapter, corrosion. So try to understand what is corrosion, what are types of corrosion. So we have uniform corrosion, we have galvanic corrosion, we have pitting corrosion, etc. Try to learn where these different types of corrosions occur, and also try to find out the methods of prevention of corrosion. So here we have galvanization and sacrificial protection as the methods to prevent corrosion. So likewise, there are many other chemical, physical methods to prevent corrosion. Try to learn more about them. So yeah, with this, I think my analysis part of material science is over with. So what all I can say is that these topics are not exhaustive. Definitely, you'll be getting questions from other topics also. But as per the previous questions, these are important topics. So my suggestion would be first focus on these topics. Try to have a thorough understanding of these topics. Try to revise these topics, and after that, if time permits, go for other topics also. Yeah, with this, we have come to an end to the first lecture. In the coming lecture, I'll discuss my understanding of other chapters as well. Thank you. Keep learning.